So, I know awareness is outside of space and time, but I still can't imagine it just always having existed forever. I feel like it should have been created somehow, but I don't know. Was it created or has it just always been here?
When you ask the question, has awareness always been here? Your question could be reformulated. Has awareness always existed in time? So what you are presuming is that time has always been here. And the question is, has awareness been here all the time that time has been here? Yeah? So let's first investigate whether time has been here all the time. And that will enable us to know whether awareness has been here all the time. So, would you agree that the time consists of what we call the present, which is now, and then behind the now there is let's call it a vast space, which we call the past, going back indefinitely in one direction. And then there's a vast, in front of now, there is this vast space which extends indefinitely in the other direction. Yeah. Okay, so you know what the experience of now feels like.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're experiencing it now.
Yes.
Okay. Now, try to leave the now and visit this place called the past. No, sorry, let's back up. Think of something that took place in the past, like breakfast this morning or anything you like. Okay. So with that idea or that image, you have the image of an event that took place in what we call the past. But that image or thought is taking place now. Yes? So the thought and the image about the past is not itself in the past. It takes place now. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So forget the thought about the past or the image about the past. We want to actually experience the past itself. Yeah? Okay, so now, just for a moment, step out of the present and visit the past. Go there. Don't just think about it or imagine it. Go there.
I can.
Can anybody here, just for a moment, step out of the present and go into the past? Now, what about the future? Can you just, for a moment, you can think about the future. We can all think about dinner tonight, but that thought takes place now. So the thought about the future is not the future itself. We want to go, we want to experience the future. Yeah, because we're trying to experience time. Yes, and time is a movement from the past to the future. So we want to experience the past and experience the future. You've already discovered you can't go to the past. You've never experienced it. In fact, you can't ever experience it. Nobody here has ever experienced the past. What about the future? Try to go there.
You can't really.
You can't really, or you just
can't
can't?
at all.
You can't at all, exactly. You just can't. Don't you think that if it was really there, someone would have gone there by now? Just for a moment. I mean, one, not just the 100 of us that are here, but one of the 7 billion of us, or going back in time, I don't know how many humans have existed. Don't you think someone for a moment would have actually left now and experienced this time called the past or the future. Nobody has ever been there. Nobody has ever come back from the past and said, I went there. Why not? Why do you think that might be?
Because the past, they were there when it was the present.
Because
They were there when the past was the present, but now they can't go back because they have to stay in the present? And
well,
the past doesn't exist anymore?
well, you say the past doesn't exist anymore, but has the past ever existed? I mean, in order to know that something exists, we must experience it.
Yes.
In order to be sure that something exists and that we're not just imagining it. I mean, are you sure that fairies exist?
No.
No. Why not?
Because I've never seen one, and
You've never experienced one, nor have I, so it's safe to presume they don't exist until we experience one. Now, using exactly the same criteria, given that neither you nor I, nor anyone here, nor anybody ever has experienced this place or this time called the past, why do we believe so strongly that it exists? No one's ever been there.
it's just our memory of the present.
It's our memory. What we call memory makes us think there is something called the past, but memory takes place in the present. The memory is an idea about the past, but when we look for the past, we never find it, just like when we look for the fairy, we never find it. Could it be that the past doesn't exist in the way we think of it?
Yes.
Could it be that the future doesn't exist when we think of it?
Yes.
How many nows have there been since we've been sitting here this afternoon?
Is that a trick question?
Alexander, you should know me by now. All my questions are trick questions.
One now.
One now. There's just been one now this afternoon. What about today? How many nows have there been today?
One now.
And what about in your lifetime? How many nows have there been in your lifetime?
One.
Could it be that this now is the only now there is? And it's not going anywhere? Could it be that it hasn't come from a place called the distant past? Could it be that it's not slowly traveling through this medium called time? And could it be that it's not destined to travel forwards
Yes.
endlessly? Could it be that this now, the only now that you and I have ever experienced, is the only now there is, and it's not going anywhere?
Yes.
Now, go back to your question. Has awareness existed forever?
No. Oh. It exists in the now.
Exactly. It is in the now. It is present in the now. Awareness hasn't existed all the time, because there is no time for awareness to exist in. When you fall asleep at night, you have a dream, and you dream that you have been on a 3-week holiday to a Caribbean beach. Yeah? So in your dream, it's the last day of the holiday. In your dream, you look back over the past 3 weeks, and you can discuss with mum and dad about the things that you've been doing, the swimming and the fishes and the snorkeling and the meals. You can discuss everything that happened in the last 3 weeks, yes? And you can describe what happened this morning and yesterday and the day before. And then when you wake up, You look at your watch again. You fell asleep 2 minutes ago. So the 3 weeks that you had in your dream took place in a moment in your mind in the waking state. It didn't take up any time. The dream itself, in the dream, the holiday seemed to take 3 weeks. But in waking state time, it took a moment. Now, could it be that what we are having now is a kind of waking state dream, which seems to last for 12 years or 55 years or 80 years, but in fact takes place in eternity, in the now, in this moment, which is not even a moment, it's because a moment is a fragment of time, but it takes place now. Could it be that what seems to be a lifetime from our point of view takes place in what's called eternity, that is the eternal now, not the everlasting now, not the now that lasts forever. There is no ever for the now to last in. There is just this now that is not going anywhere.
Yes. Yeah. I see how that's possible.
And then let's just go one step further. So we might then ask, well, okay, if there is no time, then now can't be a moment in time. Yes, because there's no time for the now to be a moment in. So what is this that we call now? The now is, we all know what we mean. When we say now, everybody knows exactly what we mean. But given that we've now discovered it's not a moment in time, what is it? What is now?
It's just now. It's like, it's not in time, but I can't give it a name, really.
Perfect. You can't give it a name, but given the words we've been using this week to try to give names to our experience, which you're quite right, can't really be named, but try to, in the context of our conversations this week, try to find another name for now.
Knowing?
Perfect. Knowing or awareness, yeah.
Okay.
Because now is that in which all our experience takes place. Doesn't all your experience take place in the now?
Yes.
That now is not a moment in time. It is pure knowing. It is awareness. It is dimensionless awareness, or in religious language it's called eternity. Remember, eternity doesn't mean everlasting in time. It means ever present now.
Okay.